Sheep production models have transcended the confines of farms and have become a critical link in the global economic value chain. In this video, we will explore how farmers raise, transport, and process millions of sheep. Today, more than 1.3 billion sheep are raised across 78 countries, with Australia, New Zealand, China, and the US leading in production. Sheep farming is a key industry that generates significant economic returns annually, supplying 70% of the world's wool and 22 billion pounds of lamb meat each year. How are products from hundreds of millions of sheep brought to dining tables and the global fashion industry? It all starts with breeding. The Merino breed accounts for 50% of global wool production. Prized for its fine and long fleece, Merino wool has natural temperature regulating and antibacterial properties, providing wearers comfort across all seasons. These exceptional qualities make Merino sheep one of the most widely farmed breeds globally. Spanning over 2.5 million square miles of rugged terrain, Australia's outback is a powerhouse for Merino sheep farming. This region, known for its harsh climate, from arid deserts to cool plateaus, is home to over 60,000 sheep farms and more than 70 million Merino sheep. The Dorper breed is renowned for its meat productivity. With over 30,000 Dorper sheep, farms in New South Wales supply thousands of pounds of meat annually. Dorper lamb is tender, sweet, low in fat, and carries a distinctive natural flavour. This meets the demands of premium markets. Notably, this breed grows rapidly and has an efficient feed conversion rate which reduces farming costs. Sheep typically give birth to 1 to 3 lambs per season, with an average gestation period of around 150 days. European farms often breed under optimal conditions, aiming for 2 reproductive cycles within 3 years. This enables rapid flock expansion. From birth to weaning, lambs require meticulous care to ensure healthy growth and high survival rates. During the first 2 to 3 months, lambs primarily rely on their mother's milk to receive essential nutrients. At around 8 to 12 weeks old, lambs become strong enough to transition to a more independent diet, preparing for the next stage of life on the farm. New South Wales is home to over 28 million sheep, known for their large-scale operations and modern care techniques. Advanced equipment helps farmers handle and distribute feed like grains and dried straw, ensuring the sheep receive proper nutrition. Now let's head to New Zealand's North Island to see how locals raise millions of sheep each year. A large flock of 570 sheep is moving along the hillside to graze and drink water. Sheep in New Zealand are primarily raised for their wool and meat. New Zealand is the world's largest exporter of lamb. The country has around 25,000 sheep farms, with a total of 48 million sheep, averaging just over 5 sheep per farmer. At a large sheep farm on the western shore of Lake Wakatipu, around 29,000 sheep are raised. Every 3 to 4 months, workers shear the sheep, with sheep producing around 8 pounds of wool. An experienced shearer can shear between 200 and 400 sheep a day, earning around $2 to $3 a sheep. Daily barn cleaning is conducted to maintain a clean environment and reduce disease risks. On large farms, farmers often use modern machinery to save time and improve efficiency. An average farm spans 50 to 1,000 acres, with 90% of the land dedicated to pastures for grazing. Some farms graze their flocks daily, while others alternate days. Farmers use sheepdogs and mobile feeding troughs to guide their flocks. The pastures where they lead the sheep typically cover around 15 acres. They move the sheep quickly through these areas in order to maximize the grass growing season while preparing for winter. As the sheep graze and trample the grass, they also crush weeds, improve soil quality, and stimulate the growth of cool season grasses. This is one of the major benefits of rotational grazing. Additionally, farms face challenges such as disease and parasite infestations. To prevent these, farmers conduct regular health checks and vaccinate the sheep. Lambs are usually vaccinated at around 3 months old in order to protect them from common diseases. The sheep farming industry in New Zealand invests over $21 million annually in technology for disease detection and prevention. The wool harvesting process begins with sheep shearing, an essential step to ensure their health and productivity. A skilled shearer can shear a sheep in just a few minutes, ensuring the fleece is removed in one continuous piece for optimal quality. After shearing, the wool is sorted and cleaned, losing around 50% of its weight as impurities are removed. The wool is then carded and spun into yarn, producing around 380 million pounds of high-quality fibre annually, ready for the global textile market. A single merino sheep can yield 9 to 11 pounds of wool each year, enough to produce more than 10 premium sweaters. At Talano Farm, around 64,000 sheep are shorn within 10 weeks, producing 1,500 bales of wool, a significant contribution to the wool industry. The combination of merino wool's quality and sustainable practices has made Talano a symbol of excellence in sheep farming. Each year, Australia produces around 760 million pounds of raw wool. This industry is a major contributor to the national economy, with wool exports generating over 3 billion Australian dollars annually. Before transportation, sheep undergo health checks and are given food and rest to reduce stress. For lambs, weaning occurs 14 days prior to the long-distance travel. Specialised livestock vessels, designed with multiple decks, separate pens, and advanced ventilation systems, ensure the health and well-being of the sheep during transport. These ships can carry up to 70,000 sheep, making them ideal for large-scale shipments lasting 2 to 3 weeks. Each year, Australia exports an average of 2 million live sheep, primarily to countries in the Middle East. In 2023, Australia's sheep industry achieved an export value exceeding $2 billion. In the US, Texas transports over 570,000 sheep annually to processing plants in California and Colorado. Modern processing plants can handle up to 14,000 sheep annually, ensuring food safety and minimizing waste. Upon arrival at the plant, sheep are anesthetized. This is a crucial step in modern processing to ensure humane practices in meat production. The sheep are cleaned by removing the hide, internal organs, and inedible parts. After processing, the sheep are moved to cold storage to freeze the meat and preserve its quality. Lamb meat is then portioned into cuts such as ribs, legs, loins, and shoulders using automated laser-guided systems. Lamb is categorized into popular cuts, with ribs accounting for around 30% of production, legs 25%, and fillets 15%. The meat is then transferred to the packaging area, where it is labelled and prepared for distribution to retailers, restaurants, and markets. The lamb from Western Australia is renowned for its delicious flavour and tenderness, making it suitable for a variety of cooking styles. It is often favoured by chefs for its consistent quality. Sheep's milk is also very important, especially in Mediterranean countries, where it is used to make famous cheeses like feta and pecorino. These products not only support the local economy, but also drive exports. Each year, more than 90% of merino wool is exported from Australia to European countries, supplying the high-end fashion industry. From sheep farming to processing in modern plants, the sheep farming industry has created immense economic value and provides high-quality products to the world. The horse breeding industry is not just a symbol of traditional culture, but also a significant economic contributor worldwide. Across vast grasslands, the image of powerful herds of horses has become an indelible mark in human history and life. What's even more fascinating is how this traditional industry continues to generate billions of dollars in revenue each year, reshaping the economic and cultural landscapes of many nations. Currently, the United States owns around 7.2 million horses and 442,000 horse farms, forming a vibrant economic sector that significantly contributes to the national GDP. Meanwhile, China leads the world with over 11 million horses, of which more than 20% are raised for meat production. These figures not only demonstrate the scale of the industry, but also underline the importance of horse breeding in the context of globalization. Globally, the total number of horses exceeds 60 million, with annual revenues from this sector surpassing 300 billion. Leading countries include not only the US and China, but also Brazil, with over 5.7 million horses, and Australia, with more than 400,000. Each country leverages the value of horses differently, from commercial purposes to tourism and entertainment, creating a global value chain full of potential. The US horse industry directly contributes $74 billion to the economy and provides around 1.3 million jobs. Direct contributions refer to economic activities within the horse industry, such as horse care or entertainment. However, these direct economic activities also stimulate related industries such as transportation, feed production, and veterinary services. In fact, horses are not merely animals, but are a vital part of economic and social ecosystems in many nations. As a result, the total economic impact of the horse industry in the US is $177 billion and around 2.2 million jobs. The horse racing industry is a prime example. Often called the sport of kings, horse racing is a thrilling spectacle that captivates the imagination of millions worldwide. Iconic racetracks like the Kentucky Derby are not only cultural symbols, but also generate over $15 billion in annual revenue. A racehorse costs on average around $300,000, while prize-winning horses can be valued at millions. Training a racehorse requires meticulous investment, from breeding selection and diet to specialized exercise regimens. Trainers must approach horses gradually and systematically, starting with foundational basics, focusing on desensitization and building trust. At the same time, they incorporate alternate training to build endurance and gradually introduce speed exercises. Additionally, the horse riding tourism industry is thriving, especially in the western states of the US. With over 2 million visitors annually, revenues from horseback riding tours reach around $300 million. In safari parks across Australia and Europe, horseback riding services generate over $1 billion annually, enriching the travel experience and connecting people with nature. The Royal Angelasian School of Equestrian Art is one of the most renowned traditional horse riding schools in the world. With 117 Andalusian horses, staff and students, this school is dedicated to preserving Spain's traditional equestrian style. The highlight of this school is its professional and impressive performances, which attract numerous tourists. Globally, farmers do not focus on raising horses primarily for meat, as they do with broiler chickens. This is because it takes significantly longer time for a horse to reach optimal weight. Breeding horses to achieve efficient feed conversion and economic growth involves many risks. However, horse farming continues to be maintained and developed. In California, approximately 2.5 million acres of land are used for horse grazing. Every year, at the end of April, farmers move around 1,500 horses to other pastures for better feeding opportunities. On average, an adult horse requires daily feed equivalent to 2% of its body weight. In addition to grazing, their diet includes a mix of corn and soybeans. In the evenings, after a day of grazing, farmers herd the horses into fenced areas to rest and protect them from potential predators during the night. Horses typically breed in spring, from February to May, when the weather is warm and food supplies are abundant. These favourable conditions support the embryo and development of the foal in the mare's womb. On average, a newborn foal weighs around 110 pounds and can stand immediately after birth. This instinctive strength reflects their legacy as creatures accustomed to roaming the prairies. During each farming cycle, farmers need to brand their horses. This practice helps them to manage their herd effectively and register with the local horse farming authorities. On a different note, raising horses for meat has its own unique cultural and economic characteristics. Horse meat accounts for around 0.4% of Spain's total livestock production. Among the registered horse farms, 15% are dedicated to meat production, most of which are located in the northwestern regions of Spain. Over the past decade, horse meat production in the country has increased by around 51%, with the majority of the meat consumed in European markets. Horses raised for meat production can either be transported directly to slaughter facilities or spend time in feedlots for fattening before slaughter. According to the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, the global production of horse meat amounts to approximately 330 million pounds. Among the leading producers, Argentina ranks first, accounting for around 70% of the world's horse meat supply. In China, over 1.6 million horses are raised for meat annually, generating revenues of approximately $2 billion. Horse meat, rich in protein and lower in fat than beef, is increasingly popular in countries such as Japan, France, and Italy. In France, over 9 million pounds of horse meat are consumed each year, making dishes like horse steak and horse sausage a distinctive part of the local cuisine. Beyond meat, horse-derived products like milk and leather also hold significant economic value. Kazakhstan produces 110 million pounds of horse milk annually, which is used in the production of premium foods and cosmetics. Horse leather is utilized to create high-end backpacks, footwear, and furniture, especially in Europe, where revenues from these products reach hundreds of millions of dollars each year. More than just an economic sector, horse farming plays a crucial role in preserving and promoting cultural heritage. In Mongolia, the United States, and Australia, horses symbolize history and national identity. Horse riding festivals are not only entertaining events, but also serve as bridges between the past and the present, recalling times when horses were an indispensable companion in human life. In the United States, over 1.4 million people are involved in horse-related activities, from breeding and transportation to entertainment. This deep connection highlights not only the economic value of horses, but also their cultural and social significance. The horse farming industry, blending tradition with modernity, continues to thrive, generating tremendous economic value while preserving cultural heritage. From thrilling races to tranquil horseback tours, the industry demonstrates that horses are not just symbols of strength and beauty, but also integral to humanity's journey of development. More than just an economic sector, horse farming is a vivid testament to human creativity and effort in harmonizing nature with the economy. With its timeless potential and value, this industry will remain an indispensable part of animal husbandry.